Hello, my name is Joseph Sagutch, and I don't know my Anishinaabe name, and I'm 76 years old, and I was originally from Fort Hope, Ontario, and then I transferred to Long Lac Reserve, and from there I transferred to Anishinaabe, Niisaachewan Reserve. And I grew up mostly in a place called Mbabaka, Ontario. And I don't have no clan name. And that's where I'm from, Mbabaka. And I went to school in Macintosh, Ontario. What happened there was my dad was a pulp cutter at the time, and he used to go work out in the bush, and I used to go with him. I would help out any way I can. And I remember one time that I don't know exactly what time it was exactly the time. It was almost in the fall when two guys came. They were dressed in white, and one Mountie dressed in red. Actually, there was three of them, and they were talking to my dad. Then my dad came and talked to me in our native language. And he told me that you have to go far away to go to school. I don't know, I told him where. And then he said a place called Macintosh. He was telling me this in our native language. If you don't go to school, then I'll go to jail, he said. I guess he was threatened by those people that if I didn't go to school. So what happened was, in the evening, I believe it was in the evening when the passenger train, I got on there with these guys. There were three of them, two white guys and one Mountie. And I think we went to Sagutch, and then from there we went to Macintosh. That's where I ended up. And it was a terrible experience in my life that I've ever known, to go in a Macintosh school. At first those people were good. I thought it was going to be nice here, the way they were. There were nuns there too, and I thought they were going to be good. And not long after that, I started to find out that they were bad. I've seen other boys getting beaten up. And they put us to work. The bigger boys were cutting the wood, and the smaller ones, I was one of them, I had to pile up the wood. We piled up all the wood. There was a place like just like a walk, and underneath is where you pile up all the wood. And some of these boys weren't allowed to wear mitts while they were cutting wood. I mean, they were almost freezing hands. This was in the winter time. Then what happened was, during school time, I started off my grade 1 in Macintosh. And then what happened was, we would go sliding with other kids, and the priests, all those that were there. They were looking after us. Then when we get hurt sometimes in sliding, we would cry, and I would cry too. At the same time I was missing my dad as well. Then what happened was this priest, he took me to a place like an office, and I can remember how that office looked like. And he would sexually abuse me in that place. And it happened about, I don't know, almost 7 times, I guess. And and I told my dad about it when he came to visit us. And him and my uncle, they came and visited us and visited me, and I told them about it. But my dad was a Catholic, and he didn't believe me because he thought that a priest wouldn't do that, such a thing. Then there was another boy, a little bit older than I was. He came running. Then my uncle, I think it was, he asked him what happened. Then the other boy told him what happened. And then my dad was angry. And what happened after that was, my dad told me, I can't take you home right now, he said, but I've got to make arrangements to, he was telling me this all in our language, native tongue. Come May, I think it was, when he said, I'll come and visit you again. This was Christmas time when he visited me that time, when I told him what was happening. And then it was around May when they came, him and my uncle, my mom's brother, and they came. And we paddled in the canoe, I don't know how long, not too long, then there was a little bit of snow on the ground yet. And then they would carry me each turns. I don't know, I was about 6 years old, I guess, at the time. And then we reached this place, a railroad tracks. We got on a freight train because they didn't want to get on the passenger train because they were scared to get caught. So once we got on the freight train, we rode all the way down to Sagutch. We jumped off, but just before we get to town, when the train was slowing down, we jumped off. And then we walked all the way down. And there was another freight train parked there and all that, and there was a flat car. That's where we got on a flat car. And there were some things there, like cargo stuff, like, I don't know. So we got on that train, and when we left Sagutch, we went to Armstrong. We could jump off there. And then we continued that same train. We walked all the way down past Armstrong, and then we got on again. Then we went by our hometown, Wareagle, Auden. We went by there, and I seen Tommy Teasquay and one of his sons. I don't know which one was that, maybe Peter or Paul. I wasn't sure which one. We were going by pretty fast. They were waving at us. And so we went to Nakina. That's where my dad and uncle got drunk there, and we stayed there about, I don't know, 2 nights, I think. I hung around where the old cars and trucks parked across from Nakina there. There used to be cars, derelicts, I guess you call them. That's where I used to sleep. So my dad and my uncle got sobered up a little bit, and we got on a passenger train because that's the only way we can get back to Wareagle. It was about an hour ride, 56 miles. And so we went back to Mbabaka. Next morning we headed out to the wilderness where my dad was cutting. He went back and he knew that whoever was going to look for them, that they're not going to come in the bush. So we went, and that's where we stayed in the bush. And I don't know how long I stayed in residential school, not very long. Probably in the fall, then in May I was taken out of there. My dad took me out of there because of that boy saved my life in there. And that boy, I'm thinking about, there used to be a guy here from Kenora. His name was Stanley. And that boy was Stanley. Maybe that was him I was thinking. And I don't know if he's still around here or not. I used to see him here. Anyway, his name was Stanley. That's the boy that told my dad what was happening. Then my dad believed me after that. So that's when the bad experience in that school. My brother was there. His name was Gabriel. They sent him home because he had seizures. I don't know why he got it. I used to get hit the back of my head all the time when I didn't move fast, or if I did something like slow or something like that. And even if I got a haircut, I'm very ticklish in the back. And if I laugh and all that, it hit me in the back of the head. And my brother was there, and I went home first. Then they sent him home. I believe it was in 1955. And in October he died. He had seizures. Oh, there were lots of them. There were boys, and I don't know if there was a boy named, there was a guy named Alan Taugizik. I don't know if I saw him there or not, but he said he was there too. But I don't know what year he was talking about. But there was lots of boys there. I believe some boys were from around this area maybe. And the rest from Long Loch and Babaka. Well, I've seen kids getting beat up. I mean, they were so beaten up sometimes. I think sometimes they were told not to tell anybody. And someone would get bruised up in the body. They don't bruise you up in the face, but in the body you get all bruised up. You get strappings and all that. They use that conveyor belt to strap you. And that belt really hurts when you get strapped in the hands. Same thing with day school. Day school, I used to get strapped many times just because I was late for school, or if you have a big snowstorm and you have to walk from the bush where my dad was cutting, and this was about 3, 4, 5 miles. Then you had to walk to school. And if you were late, you had to stick your hand out and 3 straps in each hand. Well, I don't really know, because I was just a young boy then. I know I lost a lot of respect for the Catholic people. I know that much. And I don't know how, probably my native, like I said, I don't have no native name. But I think anyway that, of according to the respect for these nuns and the priests and those guys that work with them, I lost all respect for these people. I believe so. Because not too long ago, when Wesley and I used to go to places like, where are those places we used to go to? I told you not to talk Indian. Don't talk Indian and you talk to me. Yeah, I still had that fear, because if I talked my language, I used to get beat up for that. Just to speak one word of Indian, my language, Ojibwe, and you get beat up for that. And as a result of that, I believe most of the time I grew up with people that talk English. Like my auntie married a Frenchman. They spoke English all the time. Like his daughters and sons, they're my cousins, and that's all they spoke is English. And Dave, my buddy, that's all they spoke is English, because their mother married a Swedish man, and that's all I grew up is working with people that spoke in English, not much native. And I believe that affected you guys from speaking your language. Sometimes I think about it, and sometimes I try to forget about it. And sometimes I ask myself, I wonder what happened. Why did I ended up like that? And one elder told me that we were forced to go to school. They made a way to take you out of your family or your home, and just like kidnapping right in front of you, right in front of my dad. Same thing. They threatened him. He'll go to jail if I didn't go, and that's, I don't know what you call that. That's a forceful, what you call. I know it's anybody that went to school like that, it's a terrible experience. Sometimes they can't share what they went through. 1956, after I came out from residential school, my dad and his friends, they used to make home brew, because they weren't allowed to go to liquor store or in the bars. And they would make home brew. Then when they drink all the stuff, they would leave some raisins in there and all that. So my buddy and I we started eating these raisins. And I started eating them, and I got drunk out of those things. That's when I started started drinking. And when I started drinking, I was brave. I got brave, and I forgot, like, what happened to me at the residential school. I almost forgotten about it when I drink. And I believe that's the reason why Native people drink so much today, because of that. And then when I drink lots, even my children didn't go to residential school. They're affected by it because of my actions. Yeah, that's all they did, is they saw me drinking all the time. So it's a sad picture. My healing journey was drinking alcohol, because that made me forget about all that happened to me at the residential school. And I didn't know that there was another healing. The other healing I received was back in 1980. That's when I was converted to Christianity. In other words, we call it born again. And I'm glad it happened because it really helped me out a lot. Now today, as a born-again Christian, I'm happy, even though I have a sad picture behind me. And that's my healing journey, is when I accepted my Savior, Jesus Christ. When I came home from the residential school, my mom was not with us yet. She was in the hospital in Brandon. She had TB. And then my brother came home. And then after that, my mom came home. Then my brother died. And my mom and I, we'd stay with our dad at the camp where they cut pulp. And that's when she used to teach me how to bead. Beading and birch bark binding. She used to like my teeth because my teeth are a little bit crooked. It made them special designs. So that's what she did for me, to me. She helped me out in that way. And she looked after us pretty good, even right down to when my dad died in 1959. She looked after us real good. And I'm just glad that she came home. I just want to say that to face whatever they're facing with courage, whatever your belief is in, just continue to believe that there is an answer somewhere, and that and I believe that there is an answer. I found mine. I found my answer, and it's really helping me out. And that answer is Jesus Christ as my Savior, and reading the Bible. And I read the Bible 10 times in my life, right through. And I'm going on to 11th right now. And it really helps me out. But whatever your belief is, I respect whatever you do, as long as you find the answer to go on. I know it's hard to forget what we went through, but I believe we can make it. All the residential school survivors, I just say I'm praying for you, that you'll make it. I didn't really agree, like, somebody written their apology, just like the Catholic Pope. Somebody wrote down their apologies. I prefer, if somebody is going to apologize, to come right straight from the heart, not somebody that has written everything and then read it and apologize. To me, it's not sincere. To be sincere is everything that comes from the heart. And I believe that's the way it's got to be. Well, for me, I don't really care how to be remembered. I just want to say that it's because who I believe in. He's the one that makes me what I am today. For instance, like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't swear, and he's the one that gets all the glory, not me. So if something happens to me, I just like to be remembered that I went home, my final home, and it's a glorious place.